We all love breathing, a common activity we often take for granted. Breathing is nice, wonderful, and believe it or not, it's essential. When astronauts and scientists look for a life potential on other planets for humans, the first thing they check is if we can breathe there. Nature provides background molecules that move and transform into that sweet physical form we call air. This air has oxygen, which we so happen to breathe to function. We also breathe in other things in the environment with it, but forget those things. We are talking about oxygen. Without it, we kinda die. Trees make it. We need it. Trees grow in nature. Understand nature. Understand trees. Understand how you breathe tree excrement from the air. Now you understand that understanding nature means you can keep your air fresh, you oxygen-guzzling water sack. Remember those trees from point number 1? Well, they do more than create invisible things that you absolutely must have to move and thrive constantly, or you die. They also make food in many ways. They make small, fleshy embryos that you can consume in large portions. Watch out though, some are poisonous to bipedal skin monkeys. However, there are many safe plant embryos both on trees and many smaller plants. These happen to grow in nature too. Oh, and they shelter moving food. That is both a nutritional meal and exercise in one. We will get to those later. Understanding food. Understanding food grows in nature. And we have to eat, not as much as we need to breathe or even drink water, but we must do it. Or guess what? We die. Understanding nature allows you to find, chase, make, or discover food. You know what a tree, a fleshy nude monkey, and food both sitting and moving have in common? The answer is water. They all need water, and so do you. You need water more than solids, but some can come from those plant embryos or the food on the run mentioned earlier, but sometimes you just need that precious clear liquid that they all need too. Some food even lives in it and needs it more than you. You still need it more than food, but less than air. But you guessed it. Without it, you, well, die. And in fact, so does like all your food. All your food needs water too. Oh, and those trees and small plants. They filter water for you, so that's cool. Understand nature and understand water. Slower water food on the go. They gotta breathe and eat and live in your water, but they are also a food option. If you accidentally poison your water or disrupt their water, well, there is a problem. See, when they die, we, well, die. But slowly, because we have other options for food, but they also help make air like trees and they help plants and water. I know, weird, but they help them grow, and some even caretake them. Sometimes other mobile food eats them too. And sometimes they eat plants and mobile food while they live in the water. Understand nature and understand fish, and you can have more air, clean water, and food, so you don't die. You know how when you want something to ease that pain in your middle, and you aren't in the mood for water or plant embryos, you think of all those cases of water you drank which has you retaining water. So you need some exercise and you want to get out of the house? Well, guess what? Nature's got your back. Some are risky meals and some are not as challenging, but all that don't have poison, are delicious and help you get some of that movement you need. But we will talk about ourselves later. Animals, they need water, air, and plants too. But they also sometimes eat other animals, fish, creepy crawlers, talk about it later, and sometimes you on rare occasions. But we eat them and their food and resources. Now these food options can be risky, but you can use nature to find tools which will be discussed later to get them. They also help you get a part of food you may not get from fish, water, or plants. Sometimes they help trees and plants get the best for you. Sometimes they live in them. But one thing is sure, the options are endless. Understand nature and understand animals, and you will keep things well so the other things around you and you don't die. Bugs are a necessity too. Other than being food for food and disturbing you and your dinner, they are actually essential to break down things into smaller things for plants and animals to use and eat. We will get to soil later, but they are small and necessary for everything to thrive. Very small size, but very huge in importance. They help clean up so we don't get ill in our nature and die. Understand nature and understand bugs to help you and the nature around you to be well kept. Now there are lots of hard objects that just sit out there and do nothing, right? Wrong! These things called rocks are so valuable and precious that they are the reason all things are possible. They can filter water, they can be homes for you and any food. They can make warmth for you and your food, and weirdly, they are also food. No, not that big one. Put that down. I'm talking about the tiny ones you can't see as easy. In fact, all food sources and things around you need tiny rock particles inside. Water, plants, animals, bugs, and even air do this. Well, we'll talk about that more later. Fire mountains, also called volcanoes, can heat them up to remix them as well. Since it was mentioned before, rocks are where you can make those sharp tools since fleshy water bag skin monkeys don't have claws, but brains, I guess. Some of us are clever enough to turn rocks into sharp objects to get mobile food. We can also turn rocks into homes, rocks to heat for food, rocks to eat, rocks to walk on, rocks to filter water, and even rocks to attract mates, or hold stuff. Rocks are like the thing that holds and does the stuff, so we all can live. Understand nature and understand rocks, and you will see that's going to keep all life stable and fed, and all of our food, water, and air clean and fed so they don't die, which would make us die. The mixed rock, bug, plant, water, and animal soup floor. Small parts of all things ever to exist, and the crazy thing, trees need it. So do plants and animals and fish. Oh, and we need it too. Trees and plants need it more because it is where a lot of their food rocks come from. Some animals get food rocks here too. Home to many, many foods, it's like the glue between all things. Its small pieces make it easily digested. It's small, it's everywhere, and it's important. Understand nature and understand soil, and you can keep the food for your air and water filters and your food safe and full. No soil means no animals, plants, or trees. That means no food, clean water, or clean air. And well, without all that, you guessed it, we die. It's like there's a theme here or something. Yeah, sure, lots of stuff is important. We often forget our role in all this. We can change the course of health being smart when we work together, but we can be destructive too. I believe we hold the same ratios of earth elements in our bodies. I might be wrong here, but we do have lots of water, rocks, air, and we are made of creatures so small we can't even see them. That would be overwhelming and terrifying if we could, but maybe not. Cells are so important, like bugs. They move all this stuff and change it at such a tiny level. But in mass, they make it happen. Understand nature and understand your role, and you will see, like the cells in your body, we must work as a connection to keep the body or planet alive. But if your planet has lupus, it is hard to live. You know, like when cells in your body accidentally attack and kill each other and hurt the whole body. Kind of like that, except we are the cell, and Earth is the body. And you guessed it, once cells break apart off the body, you dissolve and die? Well, we are cells. We break off and create disruption in the cycles. We die. Don't disrupt the cycles of nature. There are lots of them, and things constantly change to other things all the time. Like we were rock particles wrapped with water and other plant and rock parts with a little air at one time. We all start as one cell. Weird, right? Yeah, that cell is made of water, rocks, and air. It's a crazy world. But we love it. Understand nature and understand natural cycles, and you won't disrupt them and die. I guess this really is more of the reason that is the biggest to understand nature is so you don't die. Good luck and hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.